48 laws of power no man has ever heard before. There is a game being played around you every single day. In boardrooms, in friendships, in relationships, in every room you walk into. Most men don't know the rules. They wonder why they get passed over for promotions, why people don't respect them, why their words don't land, why they always seem to end up on the losing side of situations they didn't even know were competitions. Robert Greene spent years studying the most powerful figures in history, kings, generals, seducers, strategists, and extracted the raw laws that govern power. Not the laws they teach you in school, not the rules your parents gave you, the actual mechanics of how power works between human beings. This is that map. 48 laws, one video, let's get into it. Asterisk Law 1, never outshine the master. Every man has someone above him, a boss, a mentor, a client, someone whose approval he needs. The mistake most men make is trying to prove how smart they are in front of that person. They correct them, they outperform them publicly, they show off. And the master feels threatened. The moment someone above you feels threatened by you, they become your enemy while pretending to be your ally. They smile at you and quietly destroy your opportunities. Your job is to make the people above you feel brilliant. Make them look good. Let them take credit. Get what you need from them while they believe they're in control. The smart man is never the smartest man in the room. He's the man who controls what the smartest man in the room thinks of him. Asterisk Law 2, never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Your friends will betray you faster than your enemies. Why? Because your friends feel entitled. They expect favors. They feel that your success is partially theirs. When they don't get what they expect, the resentment builds. Your enemies have something your friends don't. They have to earn their place. When you bring a former enemy into your corner, they work twice as hard to prove themselves. They don't take you for granted. They have something to prove. This isn't about being cold. It's about being clear-eyed. Give your trust based on behavior and incentives, not on feelings and history. Asterisk Law 3, conceal your intentions. Power leaks when you talk too much. When you tell people what you want, what you're planning, what you're going after, you hand them a weapon. They can block you. They can undercut you. They can get there first. The man who moves in silence is unpredictable, and unpredictable men cannot be controlled. Talk about everything except what matters most to you. Let people think they know what you're doing. Give them a direction to look in while you move in another. Asterisk Law 4, always say less than necessary. The more you talk, the more you reveal. Every extra sentence is another chance to say something weak, contradictory, or unnecessary. Powerful men are known for their silence, not their speeches. When you do speak, make it land, brief, precise, and then stop talking. Watch what happens the next time you're in a negotiation and you say your number, then say nothing. The silence becomes pressure. The other person fills it, usually against themselves. Asterisk Law 5, so much depends on reputation, guard it with your life. Your reputation is your currency. It precedes you into every room. It follows you out. Once it's damaged, everything you do gets filtered through the damage. Protect it aggressively. When someone attacks your reputation, even subtly, address it. Don't let it sit. Silence in the face of attacks reads as confirmation. And build your reputation intentionally. Decide who you are. Then behave consistently as that person until the world has no choice but to see you that way. Asterisk Law 6, court attention at all costs. Obscurity is the enemy. It doesn't matter how good you are if no one knows you exist. The man who is visible, even controversially, has more power than the man who is invisible and excellent. Learn to make yourself interesting. Have a point of view. Have a presence. Be memorable. The world cannot ignore a man who refuses to be ignored. Asterisk Law 7, get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Time is the one resource you cannot get back. The powerful man learns to leverage other people's time, skills, and energy. He delegates, he systematizes, he builds. And he makes sure the results are associated with his name, not because he's dishonest, but because leadership requires ownership of outcomes. If things go well, you led that. If things go badly, a real leader still owns it, but the credit for success belongs to the man who set the vision and direction. Asterisk Law 8, make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. Asterisk. Chasing is weakness. Whether it's a client, a woman, a deal, the moment you chase, you drop your value. You hand control to whoever you're pursuing. Instead, create conditions that make people come to you. Build something worth coming to. Let your work, your reputation, your results pull people toward you. Then negotiate from strength. Asterisk Law 9, win through your actions, never through argument. Arguing is almost always a waste. Even when you win an argument, you lose. The other person walks away feeling defeated, and they quietly work against you. Demonstrate through action. Don't tell people you're capable, show them results and let the results speak. Don't defend your position with words, execute it, and let what happens defend you. Asterisk Law 10, infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Asterisk. Misery is contagious. The man who is always complaining, always in crisis, always in drama, he will drag you into his orbit. His chaos becomes your chaos. His enemies become your problems. Be ruthless about who you allow close. Not cruel, ruthless. Your energy and focus are finite. Protect them like they're money, because they are. The wrong people around you are the most expensive tax you'll ever pay. Asterisk Law 11, learn to keep people dependent on you. The most powerful position is being needed. When people depend on you for knowledge, for access, for a skill no one else provides, your position is secure. Never teach everything you know. Always retain something that only you can provide, and continually develop skills and assets that are hard to replace. Independence dies when dependency is built correctly. Asterisk Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Asterisk. One act of genuine generosity can undo years of suspicion. One honest concession in a negotiation can make the other side drop their defenses entirely. Use this strategically. When you need someone to trust you, lead with something real. Give something before you take. Drop your guard visibly, they'll drop theirs invisibly. Then move. Asterisk Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to self-interest. Never to mercy or gratitude. Nobody does things for you because you need them to. They do things because it benefits them. When you ask for help by appealing to how much you need it, you look weak and they feel burdened. Instead, answer their unspoken question. What's in it for me? Make the benefit to them clear, specific, and real. You'll get more help in 5 minutes with that framing than in 5 years of asking for favors. Asterisk Law 14, pose as a friend. Work as a spy. Asterisk. Information is power. The more you know about the people around you, their fears, their ambitions, their weaknesses, their alliances, the more leverage you have. Learn to ask questions that make people talk. Listen more than you speak. And never reveal that you're collecting information. Be interested, be warm, and be studying. Asterisk Law 15, crush your enemy totally. A halfway defeated enemy is the most dangerous kind. Leave him breathing room and he will come back. He will rebuild. He will remember. When conflict is necessary and unavoidable, finish it. Don't be cruel about it, be decisive. Remove the threat completely. Half measures in conflict only create future problems. Asterisk Law 16, use absence to increase respect and honor. Scarcity drives value. The man who is always available, always present, always accessible, he becomes background noise. People stop seeing him. Disappear strategically. Become less available. Let people wonder what you're doing. When you return, your presence has weight again. This works in every domain, in relationships, in business, in social dynamics. The man who controls his own absence controls how much others value his presence. Asterisk Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Asterisk. Predictable men are controllable men. When people know exactly what you'll do in every situation, they can plan around you, manipulate you, neutralize you. Break your patterns deliberately. Occasionally do the unexpected. Let people wonder how you'll respond. That uncertainty keeps them attentive, keeps them cautious, keeps them off balance. And off-balance people don't attack. Asterisk Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. The man who walls himself off thinks he's safe. He's not. He's just blind. He loses information. He loses allies. He loses perspective on what's happening around him. Stay engaged. Stay connected. Power lives in networks, in relationships, in the flow of information. A fortress is just a prison you built yourself. Asterisk Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Not every person responds to pressure the same way. Some fold, some negotiate, some wait years and then destroy you. Before you make a move against anyone, understand who they are, their history, their connections, their capacity for retaliation. The man who doesn't assess his opponent before engaging is gambling, not strategizing. Asterisk Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. The moment you commit completely to one side, one faction, one person, you lose leverage. Everyone else stops courting you. The side you committed to stops valuing you. You become a tool rather than a player. Stay independent. Let different parties compete for your full allegiance. As long as you haven't committed, you have power over all of them. Asterisk Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. Asterisk. The most dangerous person in any room is the one everyone underestimates. Let people believe they're the smartest one dealing with you. Let them get comfortable. Let them get careless. Then act. The man who is always performing intelligence signals insecurity. Real intelligence knows when to hide. Asterisk Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. When you're outgunned, outresourced, or outmaneuvered, don't fight and lose. Yield strategically. Buy time. Regroup, rebuild, and return from a stronger position. History is full of men who lost every battle and won the war because they refused to be destroyed when defeat was inevitable. Survival is its own form of power. Asterisk Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Spreading yourself thin is the same as being weak. The man who is doing 10 things at 10% is a ghost in every area. The man who is doing one thing at 100% becomes dominant. Find your strongest play. Concentrate everything there. Resources, time, attention, energy. The narrower your focus, the deeper your impact. Asterisk Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. The powerful man adapts. He reads the room. He knows which behaviors are rewarded in which environments, and he adjusts without losing himself. This is not weakness. This is intelligence. The man who behaves exactly the same in every situation is rigid, and rigid things break. Flexible men navigate. They endure. They rise. Asterisk Law 25. Recreate yourself. Asterisk. You are not fixed. The identity you have right now is one version of you, not the final version. The powerful man reinvents himself intentionally. He sheds what no longer serves him. He builds what the next level requires. Stop being loyal to a version of yourself that's holding you back. Burn it down. Build better. Do it repeatedly. The man who can reinvent himself is never trapped. Asterisk Law 26. Keep your hands clean. Asterisk. The powerful man doesn't get caught doing the dirty work. He uses others to execute the moves that can't be traced back to him. He stays above the conflict visibly while directing it invisibly. This isn't cowardice, it's strategy. Your reputation cannot afford to be attached to every necessary action. Learn to use intermediaries. Learn to stay clean. Asterisk Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Asterisk. People are hungry for meaning, for certainty, for someone to follow. The man who offers a compelling vision, who speaks with conviction, and builds a narrative people can believe in, draws followers naturally. You don't have to be a cult leader to use this. Build your brand, your business, your team around a clear ideology. Give people something to stand behind. Belief creates loyalty. Loyalty creates power. Asterisk Law 28. Enter action with boldness. Hesitation is more dangerous than aggression. The man who acts boldly, even imperfectly, creates momentum. The man who hesitates signals doubt to himself and everyone watching. Commit when you move. If you're going to do something, do it fully. A bold mistake can be recovered from. A timid non-start compounds into years of lost ground. Asterisk Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. Most men plan to the moment they want. They think about getting the deal, winning the girl, landing the job. They don't think about what comes after, and then they're caught completely off guard by the consequences of their own success. Map it further. What happens after the win? Who benefits? Who loses? Who becomes a new threat? Thinking 3 moves ahead is what separates players from pawns. Asterisk Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. Asterisk. Effort signals struggle. When people see how hard you worked, they believe the result required you to be at your limit, which means they know your limit. Conceal the effort. Let the results look natural, like they came easy. This creates the impression of vast untapped ability, of reserves you haven't shown. That impression is power. Asterisk Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. True control isn't forcing someone to do something. It's arranging the options so that every choice they make leads to where you want to go. Give people the feeling of free choice. Let them think they're deciding, but curate what's available to decide between. The man who controls the menu controls the meal. Asterisk Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. Asterisk. The truth is often harsh and boring. Fantasy is compelling. The man who can paint a vivid picture of what people want, who gives people something to hope for, has a grip on them that logic never will. This is not deception, it's understanding human nature. People are moved by vision. Give them one. Asterisk Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Asterisk. Every man has a weakness, a fear, an insecurity, an obsession, a soft spot he guards more carefully than anything else. Find it. Not to be cruel, but to understand people at the level that actually matters. The man who understands what drives and what threatens the people around him is never surprised. He always has leverage he doesn't have to use. Asterisk Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. How you carry yourself tells people how to treat you. The man who slouches, apologizes constantly, undersells himself, and accepts low treatment gets low treatment. Consistently. Hold yourself differently. Speak as if your words matter. Move as if your time has value. Occupy space unapologetically. The world largely takes you at your own valuation. Asterisk Law 35. Master the art of timing. The right action at the wrong time is a wrong action. Knowing when to move is as important as knowing what move to make. Read momentum. Feel when the moment is ripe. Some opportunities require patience for months before the window opens, and then they require immediate, decisive action when it does. The man with no sense of timing burns his opportunities with bad execution. Asterisk Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. Asterisk. When you can't get something and you react, you show that it matters. You hand your enemy proof that they've gotten to you. Instead, ignore. Move forward. Build what you actually have. The man who is focused on his own ascent doesn't have time to stare at what he couldn't reach, and his indifference makes the very thing he ignored seem less valuable to everyone watching. Asterisk Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. Symbols, visuals, and spectacle speak louder than words. The man who knows how to present himself, his work, and his vision in a way that's visually striking, that creates moments people remember, has an advantage that purely logical men will never understand. Dress, environment, how you stage your meetings, your pitches, your first impressions, all of it is communication. Most men leave it to chance. The powerful man designs it. Asterisk Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. Your unconventional thinking is your advantage, but broadcasting it constantly invites resistance. People are threatened by those who think differently. Keep your real framework internal. Operate by it. But externally, speak in the language of the room, the culture, the environment you're in. You can be a wolf in your thinking and a neighbor in your presentation. Both serve you. Asterisk Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. Calm, comfortable people make slow decisions. The man who can introduce a sense of urgency, who can make others feel that time is running out, that an opportunity is closing, moves people to act. Use this ethically. Real deadlines, real scarcity, real urgency. But understand that inertia is your enemy and that a controlled disruption creates decisions where none were coming. Asterisk Law 40. Despise the free lunch asterisk. Nothing is free. When something costs nothing, you're the cost. And the man who accepts free things without understanding the price has already lost the negotiation. Pay for what you want. Full price, fair price. It keeps you free, it keeps you clean, and it keeps you in control of what you owe and to whom. Asterisk Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Following a legend is a trap. Every move you make gets compared to a standard you had nothing to do with building. You can never fully win because the baseline was set before you arrived. If you take a position left by someone towering, redefine the role entirely. Make it yours. Don't try to be a better version of your predecessor. Become something they weren't, which creates a new standard rather than a failed comparison. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Problems in groups almost always trace back to one person, the agitator, the instigator, the one who feeds the conflict. Identify that person. Address them, not the group, not the symptoms. Remove or neutralize the source and the movement around them collapses. Groups without a leader are just noise. Asterisk Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Force creates resistance. The man who compels people through fear has obedience, but he has enemies. The moment the fear is gone, they act against him. Win people. Persuade them. Make them feel that your agenda is their agenda. Make them believers. The man who is followed out of genuine alignment has something no fear-based operator ever will: true loyalty. Asterisk Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Reflect people back to themselves. When you mirror someone's behavior, adopt their methods, their tactics, their words, it's deeply unsettling. It removes the advantage of surprise. It makes them see themselves. Use strategically. This neutralizes aggression, confuses opponents, and reveals hypocrisy without a word being said. Asterisk Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. People need to believe they're moving forward, but they're also creatures of habit who fear disruption. Push too far too fast and they resist everything, including the changes that were genuinely good. Win them incrementally. Move the needle consistently. Frame every shift in familiar, non-threatening terms. The man who can change everything while making it feel like evolution rather than revolution never loses his base. Law 46. never appear too perfect. Perfection creates distance. It makes people feel inferior rather than inspired. And inferior people either worship you or want to destroy you. Neither is useful. Show controlled imperfection. Let something human through. A moment of self-deprecating honesty. An admitted mistake handled with confidence. It makes you accessible. It disarms envy. And paradoxically, it makes your strengths more believable. Asterisk Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, know when to stop. Asterisk. Winning creates momentum, and momentum creates the delusion that more is always possible. Men who don't stop after a victory, who keep pushing into territory that requires overextension, destroy what they won. Know your objective before you start. Hit it. Secure it. Let the win consolidate. The next campaign is a separate campaign. The man who confuses victory with invincibility doesn't stay powerful for long. Asterisk Law 48. Assume formlessness. The most dangerous and durable power has no fixed shape. Water wins not by force but by adapting, going around, under, through. Rigid structures break. Fluid ones persist. The man who is fully committed to one identity, one method, one structure is vulnerable wherever that structure has a weakness. The man who can shift, who holds his principles without rigidly holding his form, is nearly impossible to attack. Be water. This is the game. Most men spend their entire lives playing without ever reading the rulebook. They wonder why power seems to go to people they don't respect. They wonder why working hard isn't enough. They wonder why being good doesn't mean being rewarded. It's because the game doesn't reward goodness. It rewards intelligence, awareness, and strategy applied consistently over time. You now have the map. The question is what you do with it. Power is not given. It is taken by the men who understand how it works and act accordingly. Go be one of those men.